Good evening, everybody. Thanks for joining me. Tonight, I'm going to be taking a look at the venerable, but I still think very excellent 1/35 scale Tamiya Panzer III L, Sonderkraftfahrzeug 141-1. No, this is not the most recent kit. In fact, this kit dates from 1997, but it's still a magnificent kit. I'm about to do a build of this kit demonstrating basic modeling techniques. I recommend this kit for beginners, someone looking for a first armor or tank kit. I think this is what I would recommend for a lot of reasons. I've mentioned this in an earlier video. The level of detail is superb. Quality of the moldings is still crisp. It has simple Tamiya build, construction. Superb Tamiya fit. No, it's not the latest kit with the most advanced details and a slide mold this and slide mold that, but it's still a really nice kit for the money. I don't think you can go wrong. This particular kit I brought from a Hong Kong eBay dealer, and it cost me about $33 US shipped to my door, and that's a tremendous value. This is a subject I think a lot of you know. I've always been a little fond of Panzer IIIs in the Panzer III chassis. This was one of the later variants, the L. There were an M and an N model after this, so it was not the last variant. But it began to have some serious firepower at this point. This vehicle came out kind of in mid-1942, was used with success in the Afrika Korps in North Africa. It worked quite well against the Allied tanks, the Crusader tanks and Cromwell tanks. Well, I don't think the Cromwell was deployed in Africa, excuse me, but the British tanks especially. They called it the Mark III Special because of the long barrel. It had the KWK-39. KWK stands for, quite simply, Kampfwagenkanone, which in English would translate as Armored Fighting Vehicle Cannon or Tank Cannon. It had a higher velocity version. The H and G variants were equipped with the KWK-38, which had the 42 caliber barrel. This one had the 60 caliber barrel. And I had mentioned in a previous video, although it's been some time, the L number designation with the dash or the forward slash and then the number afterwards is the caliber or the length of the barrel. And that was determined by the how many times larger than the diameter of the projectile the barrel was. So the L60 barrel was 60 times longer than the diameter of the projectile. Now, what that equates to in the actual length, I think it'd probably be pretty easy to do the math. But once again, not a new kit. There's pretty decent decal options inside the kit, and we'll take a closer look. If anybody has any questions about this build I'm going to do, please feel free to reach out and ask what I'm going to do. I'm not quite ready to start it yet, but I did want to do the review on the kit this evening. So let's take a look at the plastic and what we have on the inside. No surprises here. We have the Tamiya instruction booklet, painting and marking guide. I'm going to set that aside for the moment. And I have the hole and sprues. Let's take a quick and brief look at the instruction sheet. So we start off with a nice history of the vehicle, talking about the Panzer III and the Panzer IV variants and the active role that they played in the early stages of the war. The legal information, of course this is going to be all Tamiya color callouts and Tamiya sprays, and I will be using the Tamiya rattle cans for this build, so you guys will be able to check that out. We begin with the construction of the suspension, which is like most armor builds. Right on to more of the suspension, side access hatches, main drive differentials, the rear hull plate. Down here to step 3, we're into the mufflers and side compartment. There are some inaccuracies with the kit, and there's a lot of accessories for this model because it has been on the market for so long. I know CMK makes a resin replacement for this back armor plating because it's not accurate, but who cares? If it looks and smells like a Panzer III, well, it's a Panzer III. Then we go into road wheel constructions. I have built several of Tamiya's Panzer III based products, and there is a little mold line across the rubber road wheels that you will need to remove, and I will of course show you removing that when I begin the build. We're right into construction of the spare track holders, which were also used as additional armor plate, right into the top hull plate here, and the access hatches and engine access hatches as well. As you can see, it's nicely detailed. Good looking kit. The instructions are easy to follow, which is normal for most Tamiya kits. No issues there. We continue with the Pioneer equipment or on-vehicle equipment tool installation. The add-on or applique armor, which this tank was unique having as they were trying to improve its protection. It became woefully inadequate by 1943, though, as the improved T-34 was just a vastly superior tank to this version of the Panzer III. They began upgunning the 3, I would say, with the 7.5 centimeter L24, the little stubby gun, because they had heat rounds, high explosive anti-tank rounds, which were basically a hollow charged shell that could penetrate a lot more armor than the high velocity rounds fired from the 5 centimeter KWK-39 that this vehicle was equipped with. So step 13, very straightforward. Here we're attaching the hull to the tracks, main gun assembly. All of this is straightforward. It is a two-piece gun barrel, and it's very thin for a two-piece gun barrel. Move on to turret construction. So we have a total of 20 steps, not much, really pretty simple. I guess the jingling is Jerry's in the background here, roaming around, checking things out. And it does come with one crew figure. So the painting and marking guide, if we take a brief look, there are 1, 2, and 3 options called out in the painting and marking guide. I think I will probably build this one, which is tank number 133, Schwere Panzerabteilung 502 or 502, First Company, Erste Kompanie, Russland, September 1942. That's the one that has the mastodon as the symbol. These were used as support or scout tanks for the big heavy Tiger unit during the Leningrad campaign as well. I will probably do this one because I like the two-tone scheme with the Dunkelgelb or dark yellow base and the green striping. But there's also the 10th Panzer Division in Tunisia and the 18th Panzer Division in Russia. This is going to be just a dark yellow. Now, there's actually another scheme included with the kit. This is a bit odd, and that is this one, which is a command variant, which is the 11th Panzer Division, 15th Panzer Regiment, summer 1943 in Russia. Instead of the Dunkelgelb green stripe or olive green stripe, it's the red-brown stripes, which is kind of cool. And I believe they include the decals for that as well. So let's go ahead and start looking at the sprues. I don't want you to eat up too much of your time this evening. So here we have and then of course these wonderful staple Tamiya bags. I'm going to build this kit. So you know what? I'm going to go ahead and pull the sprues out of the bag. But this is a nice detailed upper hull. Yes, this dates from 1997, but as with typical Tamiya quality, no flash, no warping, no sink marks, first-rate detail and molding. You can see the anti-skid texture on the fenders. Now the fenders are going to be a bit thick because they're plastic, but I'm okay with it. But even in 1997, they're molding the hinges because these fenders could fold up. So there's a lot of detail here considering its age. That's why I think this kit holds up so well. The tools all look really nice. You know, look at the detail on these engine access hatches. They're really very, very good. I don't really think there are any complaints there at all. You guys can see that. I'll use this to help it focus a little better. So there's that sprue. The next sprue is running gear. Do we want to take this out of the bag? Probably not. I think we've all seen the running gear on a Tamiya Panzer III. All excellently done. The road wheels are actually in 2 halves. The detail, I will say, in the spare track links is really superb. You can take a look at that. The idler, bolt detail, all very crisp. The drive sprocket is superbly rendered. Really first rate considering, once again, the age of this kit from 1997. Now this next sprue consists of the main gun, the gun assembly, the breech, and the parts of the turret. And I do want to go ahead and pull these sprues out. There's 2 in this bag. I'll set the decals are in there as well. Set that aside. And I want to call out specific. Now, I realize that there are a lot of Dragon kits now that have this feature as well, but remember the age of this kit. Dragon didn't build anything like this in 1997. So you have the fine bolt detail that's on top of this turret. There's the stowage bin. Here's the applique armor that was placed on the front of the turret. They also put it on the front of the hull to improve protection for the radio operator and the driver. And here is that two-piece barrel that I mentioned. Now, I have a replacement barrel from RB Models. I was looking at it the other day. I'm not quite sure how it fits into this. Most RB models don't come with instructions. But, you know, I think I'll probably give it a shot. No pun intended. Look at the canvas texture detail on the empty cartridge bin for the main gun with some of the gun and breech detail. It's really quite nicely done, I think. So there's that sprue. This last sprue is the front hull plates and the figure and the absolutely horrible toe chains. That's, you know, one of the downsides of the kit. These toe chains are horrible. I will probably use them though to keep this build as basic as possible. But look at these are the side access hatches. These were actually escape hatches on the L. These were removed, I believe, in the M and the N variant. But look at the detail on the hinges of those escape hatches. These go on the side of the starboard side and port side of the hull. The detail on the hinge is just really exquisite considering how old the kit is. The detail on the figure is not that bad either for, you know, an old Tamiya figure. You can see the head. Really, I think, pretty good. So that's really the sprues. I mean, the only piece of plastic left, styrene anyways, is the bottom hull tub. One piece. Please note, no motorization holes. Really nicely detailed on the bottom. You know, let you take a look at that. Bolt and rivet detail, really pretty well done. Yeah, the new Dragon kits are better, but they're also considerably more expensive. You know, especially if you're buying this in Asia. But really pretty happy with the level of detail for what you get on such an old Tamiya kit. Now, this one does have the rubber band tracks. Because of this build, I will probably keep the rubber band tracks. And I will try to do my best to glue the sag in place with some super glue. And I'll get to that when I do the build. The detail on these is not great, but it could be worse. And these are supposed to be gluable with model cement. So we'll see how that goes. So this is the newer plastic they were using. This is not the rubber or vinyl plastic. Now the decal sheet, very basic. It's got the 3 versions or 4 versions that we talked about. The generic numbers. There's the command version I talked about. It's called out actually on the side of the box. And there's the Mastodon for the 502nd. I think Cohen would probably like that one. Of course, it's not a Tiger Cohen. Sorry, buddy. But, you know, very basic decal sheet. That pretty much is it for the build. I do want to say that a really nice add-on, I am going to do this because they look naked without the engine grills. Yes, I said naked. This Tamiya Pz.Kpfw grill set, which also, of course, works for the Panzer III, you know, same chassis and all. I've installed this before. It fits great. But I would definitely take a look at this, too. I think I bought this for, I don't know, $9 or $10 also off eBay. You know, to add the grill set to it. But certainly a worthy addition. Well, guys, I certainly appreciate you joining me this evening and watching this review. I would like to briefly thank everyone for subscribing to my channel. I'm at a little over 550 subscribers, and that is amazing. Thank you so much for the outpouring of support that you guys have shown me. And I'm going to try to do to keep making videos and try to keep you guys as entertained as much as possible. Thanks for tuning in. Take care, guys, and have a good night. Talk to you later.